Breaking tonight, Hillary Clinton responds to the FBI's reopening of her case. Hello and welcome to Justice. I'm Judge Jeanine Pirro. Thanks for being with us. We'll hear from Clinton and Donald Trump in a moment. Plus, Rudy Giuliani is here, as is Trump campaign manager Kellyanne Conway. But first, my opening statement. FBI Director Jim Comey's announcement yesterday that he would again look into Hillary Clinton's emails after he announced on July 5th the conclusion of that very investigation, saying no reasonable prosecutor would indict 11 days before one of the most hotly contested presidential elections of our time both disgraces and politicizes the FBI and is symptomatic of all that is wrong in Washington. Now, you know I support Donald Trump and I want him to win. But whether it's Hillary Clinton or anyone else, Comey's actions violate not only long-standing Justice Department policy, the directive of the person that he works under, the Attorney General, but even more important, the most fundamental rules of fairness and impartiality. 10 years ago, when I was the Republican conservative candidate for New York Attorney General, in the home stretch of a statewide campaign, the Justice Department and the FBI violated their own policy against making public statements that would affect an election and announced to the press that they were opening an investigation of me. It was mean-spirited, and of course, nothing came of it, except the adverse publicity cost me at the polls. What was done to me in 2006 was wrong, and what happened to Hillary Clinton yesterday was equally wrong. The Justice Department and the FBI's policy to not comment publicly about politically sensitive investigations within 60 days of an election exists for a very important reason. Announcements so close to elections have an impact. Now, this nation has already gone through an exhausting and traumatic campaign season. The FBI director should not now be front and center. One of the most revered agencies in our nation's history, now seen as putting its finger on the scales of justice, should not now be front and center. So why did he do it? Some say Comey didn't have a choice because he said to Congress that the investigation was over. Wrong. I read that testimony. Others suggest a mutiny at the FBI was underway because the investigation was never real. Maybe he feared local police involvement. The New York City Police Department, in the pedophile investigation on the Uber Abbott and Anthony Weiner computer, might have leaked that the first investigation simply was not thoroughly investigated. Maybe he felt guilty, needing a second bite at the apple. And 11 days before an election, how is it that he sends a letter to Congress? He could simply have gotten a ranking member of the committee and that member's deputy and told him and then said, if this gets out, I'll know that you did it. But it doesn't matter now. Had Comey done his job in the first place, had he done a real investigation, had he issued one subpoena, sought one search warrant, had a grand jury been impaneled, had he and the DOJ not granted immunity to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, and Uma and everybody else who walked through his office, had they not destroyed the laptops of those without clearance to handle our nation's top secrets, we wouldn't be in this mess. Now, Hillary Clinton should have been indicted a long time ago. She and Bill's scandals have done nothing but soil this great nation's image. It's long past time for both of them to start paying for their wrongdoings. And on tonight's show, we're going to talk about how the Clintons have again brought us to the precipice of a constitutional crisis, the reality of a presidential candidate under investigation by the FBI, and what happens if she is elected and then indicted. Who can pardon her? Can she pardon herself? And if not pardoned, can she be impeached for a crime committed before she was in office? Thanks to the Clintons, here we go again. And that's my open. Tell me what you think on my Facebook page or Twitter.